What is up, YouTube? We are back. 318 recap. Blessed Mess versus the Damning Gay. Um, insane prelims. Main card was like alright. It's just the prelims were so good that the main card looked horrible. Um, If I didn't randomly start betting a bunch of random horrible things at the end, just kind of stuck with my picks, we probably would have made out fine. Um, Tough, it's whatever. Either way, it was a good card, man. Especially those prelims. We'll kind of start off by talking about them. And that first fight is Carly Judice, or Judice, however you say it, beating Nicole Cagliari. I can't keep on forgetting how to pronounce her name. Judice is decent. It is someone that I'm not saying I'm putting her on the watch list. However, I am going to be picking her from now on. Striking looked clean. She really just took control of that whole fight. I believe I had her up 2-0. Just because she was just getting the better of the exchanges. Cagliari had moments, so no doubt. Nothing. She didn't do horrible out here, She did her part, but yeah, Judice or Judice, I don't even know how you say it. She just kept on stinging her with shots, um, using her range effectively. That uppercut from range, I remember she hit her a couple times with nasty. It's crazy, and then eventually got her with the knee. I think it was like right to the chest area, and crumpled her, and then got her out of there. Towards the beginning of that third round. So shout out to Judice. I think you could build something off of her for sure now. She's definitely got something going on there. Who knows what though. So we're gonna rock with Carly Judice from now on. However, still, I just don't want to put her on the watch list yet. I need to see her face a name that I actually know. I knew of Dubon because of the whole, Dana White's Contender Series story where she was like a plus 1200 favorite and then she had an nasty overhand. So I knew about Dubon through that, but I didn't know her through her actual genuine skills. And I think, we put up Judice against, or Judice, I keep on saying that incorrectly. If we put her up against, I don't even know, like, she's only had 7 professional MMA fights. I don't even know what you could do with Judice. I think you got to give her someone else before you throw her into the wolves. I mean, let's build her up. There's no reason, especially at women's flyweight, to rush somebody in there. So give her like a middle unranked person. She runs through that. Then we're talking like right outside the rankings.
No,
If
not
she like
spotted some
barely
tracks
wins
earlier.
that, you can still move
Close to
her
where
up the
you're at
unranked
right now.
tiers, maybe into a
I'll
high
send you
unranked tier
coordinates.
of women's flyweight. But there's no reason to rush her. She looked great. I'm betting her from now on unless they try to jump her up crazy, which I hope they don't do. So, and it was a hometown win for her as well to kick off the card. So shout out to Judice there. And then on to the next fight. Oh wait, and then I had Judice, but I had decision. Shocker. It's whatever. It's always when I bet decision they actually get a finish. So it's kind of crazy, but either way. On to the next fight, we got Bruno Ferreira beating Jackson McVeigh. I had oh. Can I get him? Bang. Yeah, so I had Bruno Ferreira by second round KO. Did it by first round sub. Um, I think back-to-back subs for Fejea, man. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's legit. Um, I wanted the KO, but impressive. I meant the way he like kind of transitioned into that armbar was crazy, where he just completely found a way to isolate it and just trap it in like that was so nasty. It kind of looked like he was, playing at like really on the outside to start the fight, and then, I forget what happened, how they got to the ground, but Ferreira looked good, man. I don't think he's top 15 yet. Um, Give him guy right outside top 15. I think we can reschedule a Liskarov fight. That would be a good one, and kind of build him up from there. Or did they fight already? I don't think they did, but if they did, I feel like Ferreira lost, but I don't think they did. No, he lost to Boost Magomedov. Yeah, so. Um, he has two subs in a row. Yeah, that's right. Okay, against Petrosian, he also has one. So, yeah, shout out to Bruno Ferreira, always a guy I love to watch. Jackson McVeigh, just kind of looked like he didn't belong out there, man. And you know, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, it's a bunch of females. Yeah, but Jackson McVeigh didn't really look like he wanted to be out there. I wouldn't even say didn't want to be out there. I'm not going to question the man's heart, but I mean, it's on short notice again. I mean, he had to know to a certain degree that was going to be impossible to go out there and do get past Bruno Ferreira. It would have been huge, especially since he's undefeated and everything. But it's this guy's kind of been brought in just to, step in on short notice and, just save a car or save a fight on a card, So shout out Bruno Ferreira. We'll see what they do with him next. On to the next fight, we got Ryan Spann defeating Lucas Bresky by sub in the first round. I had Spann first round KO. Did it by sub. What do you do again? I can't even think about it, man. Oh, yesterday was such a blur. What a life. How did you get it? Was it rear naked choke? I don't know. Like at this fight, I literally was not very excited for whatsoever. Was I not watching? Maybe I wasn't watching this fight, honestly, now that I think about it. I don't think I was. Now that I'm starting to think about it, I don't think I was. Let me see. Hold on. No, yeah, because I didn't put a scorecard in verdict. I don't think I was. I don't know. Okay, either way. So, I'm not convinced that Span's going to be good still. I think that's a layup. I'm at the UFC, clearly want to keep him around. They just need anyone at heavyweight that's going to go out there and crack top 15 at least. It's like we're talking about the same guys that would just get mauled by Aspinall and, the Sorogans of the world and all that. And, so UFC did Span a favor. They got him that win. We'll see what they do with him next. Wasn't really impressed. It's whatever, but good for Ryan Spann getting the win. On to the next fight, we have Marcin Prachnio losing to Jimmy Crute. Shout out to the guy, Jimmy Crute, man. I wanted him to win. I just had a feeling that Prachnio was gonna stay on the feet. It's gonna sting him once or twice, and um, I wasn't able to do that. And I don't think I was even watching this fight. Now, oh, excuse yourself, hunting here. Um, yeah. So, oh no, my gosh, stop yelling at me. Oh, there it is. Where does it go? Okay, it goes here. Yeah. So I just didn't trust the durability and the IQ of Crew. He gets it done. I don't think I was watching it now because I can't remember like anything in this fight, honestly. Like I think he got an armbar. That's what I remember. But what the heck is that? Can you calm down? Dang, bro. Oh my gosh. And the females are still here. They're still popping off. What up, girl? We gotta get this guy right in front here. Oh, dead on sight. Hopefully I got something involved with that. Is it bushes? Yeah, it's bushes. Um, yeah. So, dude, yo, is this bear aggressive? Where's she at? Yo, I don't like what they updated in this with the bears in this. Nah, bro, I'm going long. Oh, I can't. That's so far away. That shit's loud, yo. That is crazy. Like, I can't even focus on the video right now. That is way more intimidating than the bear noise was ever in this game. So they must have updated that. That sounds like a bear like right up on me, ready to pounce on me. Scared away. Act big, get big. Um, yeah, either way, you know, it's, oh my gosh. Dude, bro. Where is this bear, dog? Yo, I'm like tweaking right now. Yo, that female bear is crazy, bro. Nah, get me away from that. I don't want anything to do with that. Yo, that is insane. Let's see what we got here. Double lung. Ooh, that's vital. Oh, the jackpot. Bang. Didn't even have to go far to track that down. All right, let's go somewhere else. Oh, that's pink. We don't want that. Yeah, so great win for Jimmy Crew. We'll see what they do with him next. I still worry about him. Never been on Procneo again. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut Procneo. I don't even think like they were just hoping that a guy like Crew came in here and just beat him, you know, so they had a reason to. Because if I'm not mistaken, Procneo's coming off a 1 or 2 fight win streak right now, and he is not a fun fighter whatsoever. I don't even remember him speaking on the mic, so probably no entertainment. What? Not probably. Like there's no entertainment value. So we'll see what they do with him there. But um, shout out the Crew yet again, the guy getting it done. On to the next fight, Islam Dulatov defeating Adam Fujit, first round KO towards the end of the round, almost to a T. Honestly, to a T. Unless I'm confusing him with Teba Gaudier. I don't think I'm confusing him with Gaudier. I literally said, wait, I don't even remember like most of this first round. I think, no, yeah, I don't think a lot was going on in the first half of this first round. Like I was saying, and then Dulatov was gonna find him, and he found him. What was it? Left hook, I believe. Left hook, he was out, and then he like kind of woke up, I think, on the ground, and then the ground and pound came, and then before you know it, Dulatov won. I had him first round KO. That was my lock of the card, so that did hit. That was huge for the guys. Um, Unless you fade me 80%. If you fade me 80%, you still probably did decent on this card. But either way, um, Dulatov getting the win here. Um, I wouldn't even say big win because it's out in Fuji, but at the same time, I think Fuji also was coming off a 2 fight win streak, or you know, coming off a win. So great debut for Dulatov. Let's not rush him. Absolutely no reason to rush him. He's 26, about to be 27 in August, I believe. And you know, welterweight's pretty stacked right now. I'm outside of you know who getting ranked, which we'll talk about in a second. Um, you know, there's no reason to rush this guy into an already stacked welterweight division. Let's build him up. Let's have him get like 3 or 4 wins before, you know, we have him. I don't know. 3 or 4 wins is so excessive. We'll see how impressive he looks as the competition rises, you know. So we'll kind of go from there for him. We got nothing out here on this lake. What the heck is this? There's nothing on this lake. trash. All right, let's go up here then. Yeah, so shout out to Dual Top, first round KO. I mean, he's not even going to be on the watch list because he's such a big prospect. It's just like there's no point. Like the guys that like I know I will remember their name after their debut or maybe a second fight or whatever. Like those are the guys that I put on the watch list, you know. But I will remember Islam Dulatop's name. I actually remembered him from last year. I didn't even watch the Contender Series fight. I think someone just showed me a highlight reel of it. And I was like, wow, that dude's pretty nasty. Or I heard the commentators talking, I don't know, it was something. Like, it was word of mouth. It wasn't me watching him. So, on to the next fight. We got Iteba Gaudier defeating Robert Valentin, first round KO. Also got that perfectly correct. I had Gaudier first round KO. I was weary about this one going in. That's why this wasn't a lock on the card for me. Because I didn't know what version of Valentine we were going to see. Were we going to see the UFC version or the Ultimate Fighter version? We saw worse than even the UFC version. This guy literally just tried to bait in Gaudier with strikes and just kept getting rocked. Anything that Gaudier hit him with, dude was rocked, and then he kept on trying to play it off like you're a clown, bro. Here, I hope you get cut. Like you bring no value to the UFC as of right now. Like maybe go on a regional scene, get like 3 or 4 nasty KOs or finishes. I'd be fine to bring you back, even though I'm not a fan. You know, I think this guy, you know, for being on a 2-fight loss streak, literally getting pieced up by a 23-year-old, which at the time when I made this prediction especially, did not know Gaudier's 23 years old. That is insane, first of all. So dude, Valentin, dude, just that was horrible. It was so funny to watch, like in terms of betting and the guy who I wanted to win and everything, but in terms of just sitting there being like, is this guy like stupid in the face? Like, what was that? Just baiting him in and just every time, like, Gaudier wasn't even landing clean on most of those. Dude was just rocked. Like, shoot a takedown. Like, do something, man. Oh, weird, bro. But shout out Gaudier. Gets it done a little over the first minute in the first round. Would love to see what they do with him next. I saw Guru mention maybe GM3 matchup. No, absolutely not. Let's not do that. Because even though I think this guy is legit, I think he's going to be an issue for years to come. I'm not putting up a 23-year-old that might be a guy that we might be able to market against GM3 in his third fight. Especially when his first 2 fights, like the name value wasn't even that crazy. Let's give him one more guy. If he beats one more guy, I'm fine with the GM3 matchup. But no, I'm not prepared to let this guy get fraud checked by GM3. I don't want to see it. I think it could happen too, even after an impressive win like this again. I also could see him chinning GM3 though at the same time, but I don't want to risk it. I don't want to see it yet personally. I want them to build this guy up. 23 years old. Remember that. So much time. There's no need to rush him. Middleweight's also kind of got some contenders right now. Let's build him up. Let's keep it gradual, baby. Go from there. But shout out to Gaudier, man. Dude's going to be legit if they plan this accordingly. I'm not saying protect him. We don't need him to crush 10 cans in a row before rankings, but, you know, we're not throwing guys into the rankings after 2 or 3 unranked wins. Like, that shouldn't be happening, honestly. Unless they're really that good and they're very marketable and or like they're on the older side, you know, like or they're coming over from like one or something like that, like RDR, like that's different. But these young guys that are 23, 24, 25, even 26, like Dulatov, there's no point in rushing these guys, you know? Otherwise, they're going to end up with a bunch of Towson shares, and then we got Ty Burris and Derek Lewis being top 10 into their 40s. You know, that's why we have stuff like that, because we're rushing guys. Enough of that tangent. Moving on. We have Nikolai Vretnikov defeating Francisco Prado by decision. I had Prado by decision. somewhat of an entertaining fight. Prado needs to go down to lightweight. He's just not a welterweight. And Varetnikov didn't even look. Oh man. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, Varetnikov didn't even look that good. I think I scored it Prado. I scored it 29-28 Prado. I gave Prado second and third rounds. Varetnikov easily won the first. Fuck, why can't I remember anything from these fights? Like these were decent scraps. Like I remember being like at the time and like obviously at the time, and I said this very lightly at the time too, but I was thinking like, oh, Prado and Varetnikov is fight of the night thus far, but obviously that was because the first six fights were all finishes, and this was the first decision. But I had Prado rounds 2 and 3 won. I wouldn't say it was a robbery. It was close. Oh, I can't think of anything. I might have to. Might not be able to do raw tags anymore. I might have to start making notes and everything, because I'm not remember anything right now. Um, and I don't even want to look at the numbers. It's just not even worth it. But yeah, I might start taking notes so I can remember more of these. But yeah, I had Prado winning 2 and 3. And I'm looking on verdict. The fans did too. Fans had 9.69 as opposed to 9.34. Fans had 9.86 to 9.15. So, both these guys aren't that good, though. I'm not going to talk about it too much, especially since I don't remember anything from it. It is what it is. On to the next fight, we have Brendan Allen defeating Marvin Vittori. Great fight. I had Allen decision, got that perfect. I should have thrown more money on it. I was just like, knowing how life goes, like I'm just gonna end up like Vittori's gonna get his first ever KO or something. Just like there's always something with this type of stuff. So yeah, I definitely threw a decent amount of money on Allen by decision, but not as much as I should have capitalized upon it. But you know. Allen goes out there. I had 30-27, by the way. I don't think the fight was as close as some people think. Vittori definitely had a lot of moments in there. He he got rocked, like cut open bad in the first round. I was like, oh wow, like Brendan Allen's gonna be the guy to finally put down Vittori. It was kind of getting like that for a second. It felt like very early in the first round. Vittori kind of started to settle in as the fight went on. Um, Vittori landed some decent combos. Brendan Allen did. Brendan Allen was mixing it up a little bit more, obviously. Like, Vittori never mixes it up. That's just kind of how he rolls. You know how that guy goes. Um, but it was a great fight. I had a lot of fun watching it. Um, I don't know what you do with either of these guys right now. You kind of have to watch the division play out, or not Vittori. Vittori, you can just feed to, someone that's going to get smoked or someone that would smoke him. Get another guy in there, like a Bruno Ferreira, maybe. Even though I don't want him to get into the rankings yet, like something like that. So, oh, it's a nice little buck. Got him. What's the easiest way over there? Wow, what a shot. How do I get over there? What's the... Oh, no way. I gotta go back that way. That is criminal. I can't get over there. Alright, well, I guess I gotta do it from back up here. That's annoying. Yeah, but, good win for Allen. I don't know what they'd do for him yet. You kind of have to watch the division play out, unfortunately. Unless you do him versus, like, the Lids Day or something, which is like, like, you don't... Is that something you really want to do? Not really, probably. So, shout out to Allen, though. On to the next fight, we got Vinicius Oliveira defeating Kyler Phillips by decision. Also called that correct. I don't know if it was perfectly. I don't think I might have. I don't know. Like I had almost positive. Yeah, Kyler won first round. Vinicius just didn't do enough. Kyler had some pretty decent shots. And then from there, it was just Vinicius Oliveira just running around, looking drunk, hands at the hips. I mean, this guy is this guy like I know everyone's like going in on him and he's horrible, you know, it's whatever. I I don't know what it is because I wasn't even high on him when he came in. I didn't get high on him until he beat Said Nurmagomedov. Like that was like the time when I was like, oh okay, this guy's actually like gonna be decent. Because the gas tank. The goofiness is something else for sure. Don't get me wrong, but oh wait. You gotta lock in. Yeah, that was stupid. That was such a shit shot. Why did I shoot that? Yeah. So they like one. I think Vinicius Oliveira is just not taking anyone seriously right now. That's what I wouldn't say seriously. I think he takes his opponent seriously, but I think if you face Vinicius Oliveira up yesterday with Sean O'Malley, he fights completely different. I think this dude did not respect Kyler Phillips whatsoever. Just literally just wanted to go out there and just show, wouldn't even say show how easy it was because he didn't even make it look easy. But I think he's just a weird, like he's weird, man. He's like one of those guys I do not want to be on the hype train whatsoever. Like I really don't because if it does get derailed, I'll be like, well, I should have seen all the signs. But what he is doing, I think he's gonna win his next matchup. I think that's a good one. Horrible shot, but that's a nice mallard. Still well off from diamond. Um, oh my gosh, dude, these female bears are crazy. Get them away from me, bro. I'm literally gonna have a freaking stroke. Yeah, dude, but I think Vinicius Oliveira is like that guy. I think there are people that will beat him, especially if he continues to fight how he is, and I cannot trust him to change his fighting ways, because he did not change at all from Saeed to Kyler. However, I think he poses a lot of problems for guys like Umar and Marab. However, I think he gets starched by O'Malley. I don't think there's another fighter on the bantamweight roster. I feel that same way, where I think O'Malley beats you, but Marab you might beat. I don't know. They shouldn't jump him up fast. I think they should do a gradual build. Like they should do. Oh gosh, if they want to be vicious, they could do Cejudo. Oh gosh, Cejudo would just get flying kneed probably, and that would be so bad. I don't know how you exactly are gonna want to go about that, honestly, now that I think about it. Um yeah, Cejudo you can do. Can't do like the Mario Bautistas and the Song Yadongs of the world because they're coming off a win. You got to get those guys close to the top because you need some fresh matchups for Marab. Um, Man, I'd be fine if they rent. No, that doesn't make any sense either. Never mind. I don't know. I mean, they'll figure it out. But shout out to Vinicius Oliveira, gets it done by decision. On to the next fight, we got Michael Johnson defeating Daniel Zellhuber. I had Zellhuber second round KO. Oh my gosh. Can you not, brother? I mean, if you want to get smoked, I'll smoke you right now. Yeah, yeah, they always get out as soon as I pull away the gun. Now, come back out in sight. I don't. Yeah, I had. What did I have there? Yeah, so Huber second round KO, and Michael Johnson won. I had Michael Johnson up 29-28. I had him winning. Dude, this deer is. Can you not, bro? Ah, I choked it. Shot right above it, man. The heck? I'm in my own head. Yeah, I had Johnson winning first and second round. I had Zill Huber with the third. I think it was because some of the kicks were getting around the guard, from what I remember. Michael Johnson, though, just lining up the 1-2s. I think body straights were open all day. I don't know if he was throwing body jabs, body straights, I believe. So Huber just straight, kind of just went in, just wanted to kick the whole time. Um, I think Zoe Huber still has a future. I'm not going to say future champ. I never said future champ. I think he absolutely can find his way back in. I think he's just going through, I wouldn't even say a slump, but it's a lot of learning lessons right now. He just went through that war with Ribovich. Just he just faced a pretty solid version of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson looked clean. He looked slick out there. Just kind of looked like he was always ahead the whole time, man. Just did not show his age at all, being 39 years old. So, shout out Michael Johnson getting that one done. Zell Huber, you still got a chance, man. Wait for some of these old guys to retire at lightweight, because just like that, you're probably top 15. Honestly. There's a lot of guys that are 35 plus in the lightweight division, and you got Taporia that's saying he's going to retire probably in a year, year and a half. I don't know if he says he wants to retire by 30 or retire like during 30. I don't, you know what I mean? So we'll see what they do with him, but either way, going to rock with Michael Johnson, great decision win. On to the next fight. Tough fight, man. Just because I'm a big Dan Ige guy, and Pitbull defeated Dan Ige. I had Ige decision. I don't know why. I did score round one for Ige. I'd probably have to watch that back. I mean, I think Pitbull got those two takedowns in there, and there wasn't a whole lot of anything after that. But I don't know. I mean, I would say I'd rewatch the fight, but that fight was not that entertaining at all, outside of a couple good moments from each guy. Um, I had Ige's third round though. I had Pitbull's second round. So technically I had Ige, but like I said, I don't know. It was a weird fight. I think I don't even want to talk about this fight that much, man. Pitbull's wrestling looked pretty solid. I can't remember like Ige getting taken down. Oh, I guess Bryce Mitchell taken him down a few times like that. So you know, it's happened. Sad for Ige. I really thought he was gonna go out there and make a statement. You know, I mean, you could argue. God, I don't even know what to say anymore, man. Tough fight. I don't even want to talk about it, honestly. We're moving on. On to the next fight. We got Daniel Rodriguez defeating Kevin Holland by decision. I had Holland by decision. I thought that was the play. It was an absolute war, man. I mean, Holland's IQ is horrible. Everyone is shitting on D-Rod, shitting on welterweight, shitting on Holland. You know, I always got a thing for D-Rod. D-Rod's one of the first fighters I watched when I really got into UFC, and like, I mean, he's not like, I don't ever like this is max he will get, unfortunately. Like, I'm not saying I'd be a dick. It's just like you're 30, about to be 39, I think, in a couple months, because he has that 1986 tattooed on his chest. Because I know he's 38 going into this fight, but I don't know one how you got into the rankings, and then two, um, how you can sustain that. So, um, yeah, it's a tough fight, man. It's I had D-Rod winning the first two rounds. I had Holland winning the third. Holland was getting stung. Man, this is what I mean. D-Rod low key has sneaky power. It's weird. When he's fighting, because he's southpaw. So when he's fighting out of the southpaw, when he sets up those 1-2s, don't get me wrong, it's not the cleanest striking sometimes. Um, he's solid, man, and that was kind of a worry. But I was like, oh man, like Wonder Boy had to put everything in a few years ago and still couldn't get it. And like Holland's coming off and he's looking better than I want to say better than ever, but he's looking decent again. He's on a win streak and. Oh, that's a white tail level 2. Bang, 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 bang. I got it. So yeah, I mean, it's tough for both guys, especially for the guy Holland. I mean, now D-Rod's gonna be number 13, probably at welterweight, man. It's crazy. In a division that I literally argue was probably the most stacked division. Dare, you gotta move. You gotta move, bro. If you hit me... Alright. Gosh, this is insane. Wait, actually, get my magnum out. Hit me right at your chest, boy. Yeah, see, I knew you were gonna start running at me. Look at that. Pistol kill, baby. First one in Magnum probably in like a year or so. Huge. You know how them boys do. Alright. There we go. Fuck. Gotta go over there because I can't. Can I get through this? Oh, kind of nice. Gold. How far off was I? Yeah, still well off. Alright, we gotta keep cooking. Yeah, so... Yeah, D-Rod's probably gonna be number 13. Gosh, that's such a tough one. Oh, dude, and Holland, such a low IQ moment in the third round, man. Just really trying to get that freaking knee in the Muay Thai clinch. Like, did not have to do that. Start winging hooks, man. You could have had him out of there, man. And I don't even know, because I like both these guys about equally. Like, they're both, like, guys that, I'll cheer for if they go up against other guys. But, not guys that I will live and die by any means, because they both have their flaws. But, I mean, tough scene for Holland. Shout out to D-Rod, though. Durability, insane. See what they do with him next. On to the next fight, we have Paulo Costa defeating Roman Kopylov by decision. I had Kopylov by decision. It was a 50-50. I just didn't know what Costa was going to look like in this, because I did question the mentality, the motivation for him. But, yeah, I mean, some say that's vintage Costa, how he looked. Because I never really watched Costa in his prime or whatever. Like, I missed the Adesanya fight on some crazy stuff. That was back when I was a crackhead. Not actually, but, like, was acting like a crackhead. Never really got to see Paulo Costa fight that well. Because even in the Rockhold fight, he didn't look that crazy, So... that was like a really good win by Costa. The leg kicks early, man, were nasty. I meant just getting in there on Kopylov. Kopylov wasn't doing anything, and then the body kicks were there. It looked great, man, for Costa. How did I score that fight? I did have 30-27 Costa, so yeah. He really wants that Hamzat fight. I don't think they should do that whatsoever. Even if Hamzat loses, it just makes no sense. Costa was 13. he's not jumping any of these guys, you know, like it just makes no sense to do that fight. It would be a fun fight, the build-up would be awesome, but and I think the fight itself is actually somewhat interesting, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with all that. But either way, shout out to Paulo Costa. That was a good performance. That was fun to see. Paulo Costa's has grown to be one of my favorite fighters, especially in the middleweight division. So, you know, seeing him go out there and kind of have like a really good performance, the best I've ever seen him look personally, like with my eyes live. Memory, Biggie. Who the fuck is Biggie? What? Yeah, so either way, on to the next fight. We have Max Holloway defeating Dustin Poirier for the BMF belt. Whatever, the trilogy, it's over. Max Holloway is officially lost 2-1, but he won the fight. Gets the last laugh. Whatever. I predicted that perfectly again. I had Holloway decision. However, I would be lying to you if I said when push came to shove and I saw all these veterans going out there and winning, especially on the main card with the Michael Johnsons, the Pit Bulls, and, you know, the Costas, and even the D-Rods and all that. Like, when I saw all of them win, I was like, oh, Poirier's going to win. Who cares if it's a retirement fight? He's going to find a way. So I took not only Holloway decision, I threw a lot of money on Poirier money line. Put just as much as I did on Holloway decision on Poirier round 3-4 KO, 3-4-5 KO. Tough scene, man. Holloway looked way faster out there. Dustin did not look like he was in his prime. And it's a shame because he proved me wrong in both fights, or in his last two fights. Yeah, last two fights. He looked way better against Islam than I thought he was going to, and he looked way worse against Holloway than I thought he was going to look. So even when I had a Holloway decision, I was like, oh, this is going to be like really, really close. Like, no, they're really going to have moments. And Poirier did have his moments, man. It wasn't enough. And I'm also psycho because I'm kind of contradicting my point by saying that I thought Poirier was going to make it closer. I had a 48-47 Holloway. But, oh my gosh, where is it? Where is it? That's right up on me. It's freaking Bears, man. Yeah, I had Holloway winning round 1, obviously. I had Poirier winning round 2. Holloway definitely was winning that whole round until he got dropped. And then Poirier had 3 nasty elbows, ground and pounded. 3 was Holloway. 4 I had Poirier, but I 100% can see why people would give that to Holloway. Like you could argue that was Holloway. That might have been me trying to biasly judge the fight, like subconsciously, who knows? I don't know. And then 5th was Holloway again. He tried doing the 10-second thing and thought Poirier was going to do it. I remember thinking like towards the end of the 3rd round, I was like, wait, what if this does go to decision? Holloway's going to point to the ground again. That's how Dustin goes out. And he did. Poirier, and Poirier kept looking at the clock, man. It just looked like he did not want to be in there after like the 1st round, man. And it's tough to say, you know, because, you know, love Poirier, another guy that really got me into the sport. When he came off of both those McGregor wins, probably the best fighter to never win an undisputed belt. Probably can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. It's tough, man. He did not look like himself. He looked slower, but Max also looked like way faster. Yeah, you know, it's better for the division that Holloway wins. It's better for Poirier that Holloway wins because, and the UFC, like, I just like they built up this whole retirement fight. They brought it to New Orleans. They did all this stuff. Bruce Buffer even was like for his last fight ever, all that. Like when they do that, like there has to be a contract saying you cannot come back under any circumstances. And I was afraid. I was like, oh, what if Poirier wins or KOs him, and then they're gonna be saying, oh, Poirier and no, Poirier and Taporia. And then, you know, they can just do, you know, a three fight, whatever, to declare the next winner a title shot or something. I don't know, something stupid, but so I'm kind of glad that Poirier lost in that regard. I'm glad he didn't get chinned or went out getting finished or dominated. I mean, I wouldn't say he was dominated, but it was pretty one-sided in my opinion, outside of a few moments. Um, Holloway talking about Taporia again, brother. Yeah, it's only been 9 months. I know we can say different division, all that. You've gotten dropped 3 times in the last 3 fights, or no? Yes, 3 times last 3 fights. You got dropped by Gaethje, even though it's not official knockdown. I don't know what they were trying to do there. Taporia dropped you, finished you. Poirier dropped you in the second round, and he was stinging you again. Um, You know, and then I'm seeing the Max Holloway fans, you know, starting to reignite that fire. Oh, look at 155. He's way better. Ilya stands no chance. Brother, he does better at 155. I can see that. He gets chin still. Honestly. Where if Max was getting dropped by those shots by Poirier, if Taporia gets those reads and finds him again, man, brother, he is going down. I don't give a shit about 55. If we're talking 155, let's say Taporia fought Volk in a rematch, KO'd Volk again instead of fighting Holloway or whatever, or he fought some other guy like a Diego Lopez, Chin Diego Lopez, and then we're seeing Taporia and Holloway at the first time for the first time at 155, and let's say Holloway took off like a year, fought Poirier, and was on a 2 fight win streak against Gaethje and Poirier. Yeah, I'm taking my money on Max because I'm like, oh, dude, like even though Taporia has power, Max has never been cracked. Max got cracked at 145, got cracked at the 2 other 155 fights on the other side of that 145 fight. Ilya is showing that his power is not only translating but looking better than ever. Taporia chins him again, brother, and it might be quicker, it might not be. Um, I could see Holloway, you know, doing really well in that fight until he gets cracked. Um, that's my 2 cents with it. Overall, great card. Not really. Prelims were fantastic. Main card was eh. 8 of the 14 winners correct. 5 perfect. I think that's my most perfect. Um, and then what else do we have on? There's a deer over here. Oh shoot! Why is that so? Why is my game volume so loud, bro? Either way, huge shout out the guys. We did it. Um, RIP Poirier's career, man. That's a tough one. Always puts on fun fights. Wish he could have won for the guys, but at the same time, man, that's just kind of how it goes. I'm just grateful he didn't get chinned or it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like a Holloway Cater performance where he's just putting on 300 strikes and, you know, Dustin's just looking lifeless out there. So I'm glad it never got to that. You got to be grateful. You got to take what you can. Um, I'm still feeling like the most spoiled UFC fan ever for witnessing 317. Um, but yeah, now we move on to Whitaker versus Reiner de Ritter. I'll probably make my picks tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe earlier or later in the week, and then we will talk later in the week, maybe. I don't know. If I find time, I'll do it. Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. But either way, it's been a real one, YouTube. I'm out. See ya.